All right, and 3, 2, 1, we are live. Welcome to the afternoon runs for the Rocky Mountain Division U12 State Championships up here at beautiful Powderhorn Mountain Resort. We are just a few minutes away from getting racing started. They are clearing the race runs as we speak. Big shout out to our sponsors, Leitner Poma, Timberline Bank, Shaw Construction, Greater Grand Junction Sports Commission, Reams and Reams Law, Intermountain Health, Rocky Mountain Orthopedics, Dufford Waldeck Law, Rocky Toppers and Campers, Towie Adventure Tow Bungees, and All Sound Designs helping us with the technology up here. My name is Eric. I will be calling the action today. My son Porter is to the left of me. He runs the actual timing computer, and my wife Sarah is the starter. So we are a little happy timing family up here at Powderhorn. We have done a ton of races this year and had a lot of fun doing them. This weekend is our final race of the year. Speaking of final race, it is warm today. I took a run through the race course at the break, and the snow is very melty. It feels like I don't know, like wet beach sand or like sugar. It's like thick and granule and weird feeling. Soft with like an icy base because of the freeze and thaw cycle below the first surface of the snow. So interesting snow conditions. I think this is kind of appropriate since we've got the best U12 skiers from all across the Rocky Mountain Division up here skiing. Challenging conditions are good for these guys. Let the best racer win. Slalom is always a dynamic event. It's crazy, meaning we will have a lot of risk taking. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, but I like to watch it. Slalom is my favorite racing to watch and call for sure. You can go to powderhornracing.org and check out the live videos. So I do a video in the morning, then I stop streaming. I do a separate video in the afternoon. I see my studio stopped streaming and reconnection successful. So I'm still streaming. I'm not sure what happened with our internet there. Okay, 4 forerunners. First racer in the gate sending shortly. This is just a test of the course and the timing systems. I see a forerunner, good run. I did not get a time on that. We made an adjustment. Okay, forerunner gets a time of 36.82. Next forerunner on course. Start trigger works. Okay, we are running in reverse bib order this afternoon. The courses have been reset. They are probably faster, I would guess. We've got another forerunner on course. It looks to me like the courses are less like they come straight at us more, like they're physically shorter in length. So I expect the times to be a little bit faster. So it looks like we're going to start with bib number 77. Kaya Shine, and go backwards. Kaya Shine, Caroline Owens, Danny Peterson, Quinn Ebner, Evelyn Clark. It's going to be our top 5 first starters. Forerunner just comes through, 36.95. And here comes another. Forerunner number 4, 35.35. 35.35. Okay, first racer, bib 77. Shine on course. Here we go. We are racing. All right, Caroline Owens next up in the start gate. Kaya Shine looking good so far. Caroline on course. Danny Peterson in the start gate. Oh! Shine gets close to a pole in there. I saw it catch a ski. Looks good though. Okay, Danny Peterson on course. Caroline Owens mid-course. This is bib 76 coming at us. Bib 75 on course at the top. Bib 74 in the start gate. Quinn Ebner in the start gate. At the finish line, bib 76, Caroline Owens, 35.70, 35.70. Quinn Ebner on course at the top. Evelyn Clark. Okay, hang tight. We're making a few adjustments inside. Okay, let me catch up on these results. Bib 76, Caroline Owens, 35.70. 75, Danny Peterson, 38.11. Bib 74, Quinn Ebner, 36.31. Evelyn Clark, we're going to get that time in just a second. Okay, little timing glitch. We're getting it fixed up here. Bib number 77, Shine, had a time of 31.58. 31.58 for bib 77. All right, bib 73, Evelyn Clark. The time there is a 30.46. 30.46. Okay, Hayden Chakowski in the start gate. We are ready to resume racing. Here we go. Hayden on course. Emma Caldwell next up in the start. I am overheated. I'm opening up my vents right now. Emma Caldwell on course at the top. Bib 7-2 has some trouble. 7-2 will not finish. Smith Stern next up in the start. On course, Emma Caldwell, bib 71, coming at us. Hand timers, bib 70. Bib 70 is missing. We're skipping to bib 69. 69 is on course at the top. Smith Stern next up in the start gate. Alexandra Zaitseva in the start gate. At the finish line, bib 71, Emma Caldwell with a time of 45.20. Alexandra Zaitseva on course. Emmeline Springer next up in the start, bib 67 in the start. 68 on course. 69 coming to the bottom. Smith Stern. Smith Stern, bib 69 with a time of 42.32. Ella Spraycar in the start gate. Emmeline Springer on course at the top. Coming to the bottom, Alexandra, bib 68 with a time of 33.25. 33.25 for Zaitseva. Imogene Harney next up in the start, bib 65 in the start. 66, Ella Spraycar on course. At the finish line, we just had bib 67, Emmeline Springer, 31.86. 31.86. Harney on course at the top. Ainsley Fleming next up in the start. Okay, Ainsley on course at the top. Ella Spraycar at the finish line, bib 66 with a time of 39.49. 39.49. Imogene Harney nearing the bottom. Ainsley Fleming mid-course. Ashley Gibb, 63 in the start gate. That's bib 65 at the finish line. Harney with a time of 33.11. Bib 64, Ainsley Fleming headed to us. Bib 63, Ashley Gibb on course. 62, Tegan Collander in the start gate. Colliander. Got to get all the letters. Okay, Tegan on course. Next up in the start, 61, Amelia Schenk. At the finish line, bib 65, Imogene Harney was a 33.11. Ainsley Fleming, bib 64 with a 43.06. Ashley Gibb nearing the finish here. This is bib 63 coming at us. Tegan Colliander mid-course. Amelia Schenk on course at the top. Avery Wallen next up in the start gate. Coming across the line, bib 63, Ashley Gibb, 42.64. 42.64. Avery Wallen on course at the top. Eleanor Souter in the start gate. Coming across the finish line, bib 62, Tegan Colliander with a 42.52. 42.52. Coming in on the YouTube chat for Ashley Gibb. Go Ashley, go Team Winter Park. Eleanor Souter on course at the top. Riley Haynes in the start gate. Last skier through, bib 61, Amelia Schenk, 34.17. That's a good run. Avery Wallen coming to the bottom. Eleanor Souter mid-course. Riley Haynes, bib 58 in the start gate. This is bib 60 nearing the finish. Riley Haynes on course. Francina Jordan next up in the start gate. At the finish, bib 60, Avery Wallen, 38.91. Eleanor Souter, bib 59 with a time of 34.79. Georgia Rayati in the start gate. Francina Jordan, mid-course. At the finish line, Riley Haynes, bib 58 with a time of 34.39. 34.39 for bib 58. Lucy Vasquez, bib 55 in the start gate. Okay, Georgia Rayati coming to the bottom. Lucy on course. At the finish, Francina Jordan, bib 57 with a time of 35.99. 35.99. Uli Bauer in the start gate. Bib 54 is on course already. Isla Heroin in the start gate. Okay, Isla Heron on course. Alexandria Steensland next up in the start. At the finish line, bib 55, Lucy Vasquez, 35.39. Before her, bib 56, Georgia with a 32.28. Before that, 57 with a 35.99 for Francina Jordan. Alexandra Steensland on course at the top. Next up in the start will be Neve Moulton. Uli Bauer at the finish line, bib 54 with a time of 38.98. 38.98. Neve Moulton in the start. Neve on course. Gabrielle Kozicki is next up in the start gate. Nearing the finish here is bib 53. Isla with a time of 44.56. 44.56. Alexander Steenland, bib 52. Nearing the bottom, 51 on course. At the top, Gabrielle Kozicki, bib 50 on course. Reese Stockhausen, bib 49, next up in the start gate. Across the finish line here, bib 52 with a time of, that's Alexandra Steensland, with a time of 41.43. Reese Stockhausen ready to start at the top, and Reese on course. Next up in the start will be Margot Weber. Neve Moulton gets a good one. Bib 51 from Winter Park gets a 42.97. Neve, you got a fan cheering you on YouTube. Go, Neve, crush it from Holmans. Whoever that is, I'm guessing you know. Margot Weber on course. Pippa McGlincy next up in the start. Next finisher through bib 50 was Gabrielle Kozicki with a time of 35.14. 35.14. Reese Stockhausen coming to the bottom, bib 49 headed to us. 48, Margot Weber on a heater right now. Followed by Pippa McGlincy on course. Mary Grace Crump in the start. Oh, Pippa goes down. Double eject. Flat on her back. That's Pippa, 4-7. It's going to be a DNF. So 4-7 will be a DNF. At the finish line, Reese Stockhausen, bib 49 with a 45.99, but Margot Weber, bib 48 with the hot one, 31.72. That goes into the third spot unofficially on my screen, 31.72 for Margot Weber. Mary Grace Crump on course. Bergen Gilligan in the start. Bergen on course already. Corey Bomarito in the start gate. Margot Weber making it look good. This course is skiing surprisingly well so far. Again, warm day, spring skiing conditions for sure. Corey Bomarito on course. Bergen Gilligan coming to the bottom. At the finish, we just had Mary Grace Crump, bib 46, with a time of 44.25. Up at the top, Baker McDonald in the start gate, ready to go. Next finisher through, Bergen Gilligan, bib 45 with a 38.41. 38.41. Baker McDonald ready to start. Baker on course. Sadie Helmel in the start gate. At the finish line, we just had bib 44. Corey Bomarito with a time of 45.09. Sadie on course at the top. Piper Stokes in the start gate. Bryn Barrowclaw, bib 43 with a time of 43.27. That's bib 42. Baker McDonald from Winter Park with a time of 43.06. Okay, bib 39 will not start. We're jumping from bib 40 to 38. 38 on course at the top. That was Baker McDonald. Go Baker, you got this, from Jack's mom. Jack's mom hooking it up for all of the Winter Park athletes. Next skier through bib 41, Sadie Helmel, 40.12, 40.12. Piper Stokes nearing the bottom. Jaslyn Spritzer on course. Reed Rentschler in the start gate. Reed on course already. Kristen Sung in the start gate. At the finish line, bib 40, Piper Stokes with a time of 39.51. Kristen Sung on course at the top. Annika Toland next up in the start. Across the finish line, bib 38, Jaslyn Spritzer with a time of 41.61. Kristen Sung up there, low and high edge angle. Annika Toland on course at the top. Elena Smith next up in the start gate. Reed Rentschler coming to the bottom here. This is bib 37. 37 Reed with a 49.38. 49.38. Kristen Sung, bib 36, comes across the line with a 37.24. 37.24 for Kristen Sung. Sydney Adam next up in the start. Okay, Kristen Sung, bib 36, with a time of 37.24. Bib 34, Elena Smith, I believe, is out. I think that is her I'm looking at on the upper three quarters of the course at the top. What bib was that? 34? That was bib 34. Will not finish. 33, Sydney Adam next up in the start gate. Last skier to finish, bib 35, Annika Toland with a time of 41.75. Scorekeepers, pay attention. We are inserting bib 39. Earlier, I called bib 39 as a DNS. That is canceled. 39 is being inserted after 33. Elizabeth Barney is in the start gate currently, bib 39. Again, Sydney Adam, mid-course. Elizabeth Barney on course. Back to bib 32, Harper Hollowell in the start gate. Annika Toland, bib 35, just came in with the 41.75. Kristen Sung, previous finisher, bib 36, was at 37.24. Harper Hollowell on course at the top. Amelia Backus next up in the start. Sydney Adam, bib 33 with a 38.60, 38.60 for Sydney Adam. Elizabeth Barney across the finish line, bib 39 with a 34.74. Amelia on course at the top. Millie Waugh in the start gate. Amelia Backus up there fighting for it. Harper Hollowell looking like a pretty clean run so far. Elizabeth Barney came in, bib 39 with a 34.74. Across the finish is Harper Hollowell, bib 32 with a 37.66. 37.66. Millie Waugh on course. Naomi Sill next up in the start gate. Amelia Backus and Amelia, bib 31 with a 34.45. 34.45. Sloan Dvorkin in the start gate. Millie reaching for it, bib 30 with a good time, 32.19. Millie, bib 30 with a 32.19. Naomi Sill on course. Sloan is on course at the top. Daphne Mulk is in the start gate right now. I just heard stop start on the radio for some course repairs. Holding 2.7 in the gate. At the finish line, Naomi Sill, bib 219 with a 43.43. Sloan, mid-course. This is bib 28 coming at us. Bib 27 held in the gate for a gate repair in the upper third of the course there. Sloan, bib 28 coming across the line, 47.92. Course is clear. Daphne Mulk, clear to start. Bib 27, here we go. All right, Daphne Mulk. I'm waiting for a shout out from Jack's mom. I beat you to it. I beat you to it. Okay, I don't know when you typed that, Jack's mom, but it didn't pop up on my screen until I said you were coming at me. Okay, Ava Strout. Ava on course at the top. Monroe Mangelson in the start gate. Monroe on course already. Phoebe Wasner next up in the start. Coming across the finish line. Daphne Mulk, bib 27 with a 40.54. Daphne, you get a yes! Get it, girl, from Jack's mom from Team Winter Park. Phoebe Wasner on course. At the finish line, Ava Strout, bib 26 with a 40.07, 40.07. Phoebe Wasner on course. Amelia Schwartz next up in the start gate. Monroe nearing the bottom here. This is bib 25 headed to us. And 25, Monroe Mangelson with a time of 37.36. 37.36. Amelia Schwartz on course at the top. Brianna Vignali is in the start gate. Valentina Kawamura next up in the start. Brianna Vignali, mid-course at the finish. Bib 23, Amelia Schwartz with a time of 34.59. All right, bib 22, abandoned. 22, DNF. 22, no time. Hang tight. We're catching up on bib for the hand scorekeepers, catching up on bib 55 56 here in a second. 55 was 35.39. 56, 32.28. Is that right? Yes. Okay, clear to resume. Valentina Kawamura in the start gate. This is bib 21 in the start gate. Millie Eberly in the start gate. Valentina Kawamura on course. Nicole LaBelle next up on the start. Millie on course. Coming to the bottom here is bib 21, Valentina Kawamura. Millie mid-course. Nicole LaBelle on course. Cecilia Valentino in the start gate. Okay, this is bib 21, Valentina Kawamura with a time of 40.70. That's 40.70. Cecilia Valentino on course. Maddie Waldron next up in the start. So, bibs, we got bib 20 just came through. 19 on course, 18, 17 in the start gate. Maddie Waldron in the start. At the finish, Millie Eberly, bib 20 with the time of 41.94. And bib 19, Nicole LaBelle coming in hot, 35.08. 35.08. Maddie Waldron on course at the top. Alexandra Tino in the start gate. Alexandra on course already. I was in the car with my wife this morning making fun of her for having 3 racers on course. We've had 3 racers on course all day today. Keeps me busy. Cecilia Valentino, bib 18 with a 37.16. 37.16 for Cecilia. Reese Tura on course at the top. Nias Adams, bib 14 in the start gate. Maddie Waldron, bib 17, comes through with a time of 40.37, 40.37. Grace Mara in the start gate. Adams at the top of the course. Reese Tura, this is bib 15 coming to us. Alexandra Teno, bib 16, just finished with the 36.45. Grace Mara on course at the top already. Brooklyn Beckerman next up in the start, bib 12. Bib 15, Reese Tura, 37.92. Anais Adams, bib 14. Anise? She's Anise. Anise Adams, bib 14, 42.09. Adams, 42.09, bib 14. Brooklyn Beckerman on course at the top. Grace Mara on course. Grace coming through the finish. Ariana Lauro on course at the top. Billy Dorado Boysen in the start gate. Grace Mara, bib 13 with a time of 36.21. Uh-oh. Brooklyn, that looks like bib 12. Bib 12 will not finish. Billy Dorado Boysen on course at the top. Quinn Tetuan, bib 9 in the start gate. Bib 24, 45.95. Sophie Verrier in the start gate. Quinn Tetuan on course. At the finish, bib 11, Ariana Laro, 36.44. 36.44. Sophie Verrier on course. Ava Black in the start gate. Rooting for Grace, number 13. Go fast from Papa and Nana. They're rooting for you. You got this, Quinn, from Grammy and Pop T. Go, Quinn. The team is so proud of your return this season. From Jack's mom. Ava Black on course. Lillian Dewark in the start gate. At the finish, bib 10, Billy Dorado Boysen was a 43.09. Bib 9, Quinn Tetuan with a 37.24. Sophie Verrier, bib 8, coming at us. Ava Black, bib 7 on course. Lillian Dewark on course at the top. Next up in the start, Freya Storhaug. Sophie Verrier, bib 8, with the time of 34.95. Ava Black, bib 7, just came in with a 38 flat, 38.00. Lillian coming towards the bottom. Freya, mid-course. Avery Dye next up in the start. Go, Lily. Crush this. Lily must be... Oh, Lily's on course. I'll tell her when she gets off course. Avery Dye in the start gate. And Lily, bib number 6 with a time of 44.28. Lily getting some encouragement on the YouTube chat. Go, Lily. Crush this. Avery Dye in the start gate. Freya coming to the finish. This is bib number 5. Bib number 5 coming at us. Freya Storhaug, 45.51. 45.51. Avery Dye in the start. Iris Staller next up in the start. We're going to slow it down. We're down to the last 5 racers. We're going to slow it down just a touch. Well, we're going to slow down to a little more than just a touch, I suppose. We're going to slow it down to a finish interval so that the current skier on course, once they finish through the line, then we'll start the next racer. So Iris Stoller in the start gate. Avery Dye, bib 4, working her way to us. And Avery Dye with the time of 39.70. That's bib 4, 39.70. Iris Staller, bib 3, on course. Next up in the start, Joan Girard. Iris looking clean so far. That's bib 3, Iris Staller with a time of 39.04. Joan Girard on course. Charlotte Miller will be the final racer. Charlotte in the start gate. So parents, live timing is disabled during the race this year for all U14 competitions at the national level, or under U14s, U14 and below. We will update live timing once the race is completed. Charlotte Miller on course at the top. Last skier through, Joan Girard with bib number 2 with a time of 38.28. 38.28. Okay, last racer of the women's second race today on slalom with the fresh course set. On course. Getting crazy there mid-run. And reaching for it. Bib number 1, Charlotte Miller, with a time of 36.24. 36.24. All right, I got to switch into timing mode, so I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes while we wrap up this race and get ready for the guys. Next racers will start at 12:57, just under 10 minutes from now. So hang tight and we'll get started on the guys' run in 10 minutes. As a reminder, we are having all awards on Sunday. we have a pretty large task of moving our race over to Bill's Run after the race today. So all awards will be done as quickly as possible Sunday after the racing is complete. Looks like we've got some skiers down there still. Oh, there are. I've already got cheering coming in for the guys' race. Dono's brother Everett says, "Slay, Donovan." Bib 168. Looks like Donovan will be skiing eighth this afternoon. He'll be the 8th skier to start. So you're not going to have to wait long to see what Dono can do. Okay, parents, live timing has been updated. Live timing has been updated. Okay, I just heard we're sending forerunners at 1 o'clock. That means I've got a couple minutes here to talk about the sponsors that keep our program going. Powderhorn Racing Club is a club event, and we rely on the sponsors to help fund the organization, keep us going. Ooh, looking out the window here, I've got a coach chucking salt on the course, trying to get it to firm up and hold together. We have, less than an hour of skiing left, and this course is melting out. Super warm the last couple days. It is going to freeze, I think, tonight for tomorrow. So tomorrow's race course is going to be crazy fast. Anyways, sponsors, Leitner Poma. We move people. Leitner Poma of America, offering a complete line of cable transport systems. What's interesting about Leitner Poma is, although they're headquartered in France, since 1981, all of their detachables have been designed and manufactured here in Grand Junction, Colorado. Timberline Bank is a full-service, independent, and locally owned bank, chartered in 2004 by its employees and local investors. They've got locations in Grand Junction, Aspen, and Montrose. Each of their markets has its own leadership and president, allowing them to make decisions at a local level to better serve you. Shaw Construction since 1962. Shaw Construction has provided professional construction services throughout the Rocky Mountain region with a mission to build buildings and relationships that last. The Greater Grand Junction Sports Commission is a non-profit agency with the mission of representing Grand Junction and Mesa County, recruiting, supporting, and creating outdoor recreation events all over western Colorado. Reams and Reams Law, established in 1955, Charles and Zachary Reams head up the private law firm specializing in estate and probate matters, including conservatorships, guardianships, estate litigation, will contest, estate planning, estate and trust administration. And if you need fiduciary work, they accept appointments. Intermountain Health and Rocky Mountain Orthopedics keeps your care close to home without compromising the quality of your care. We are your partner in health and healing. These guys do elbow care, foot and ankle care, hand and wrist care, hip care, knee care, non-surgical spine care, occupational health and work injury rehabilitation, orthopedic surgery, physical therapy and rehabilitation. Dufford Waldeck Law, responsive, experienced, and focused for over 50 years. They focus on water, real estate, and agricultural law. They have 16 attorneys with a wide range of legal services, including real estate, civil litigation, and estate planning. Rocky Toppers and Campers, your one-stop shop for truck accessories, truck campers, toppers, cargo solutions, like live-in campers or just protection campers, tonneau covers, accessory and installation. I was down there just the other day, and a Forest Service truck was in there getting all outfitted with its equipment to hold tools and whatnot to get into the backcountry. Towie Adventure Tow Bungees, made right here in Grand Junction. Towie makes tow bungees for mountain bikers. Parents can tow kids uphill. E-bikers can tow regular bikers up mountains. Ski versions, motorcycle, ATV, snowmobile, water sports, dog leashes, and more. Towie Adventure Tow Bungees. And All Sound Designs, technology simplified, with commercial and home electronic installations such as home theater, network, security, surveillance, apps. One app to do everything. All kinds of cool technology stuff from All Sound. Okay, done with the sponsor reads. Thank you for putting up with that. Oh, hey, one more sponsor read. I think most of you guys have gone down and visited the Fuchsie Racing. They've got a gear raffle happening at the awards, giving away a ton of cool stuff. But Fuchsie always offering quality equipment at a great price. Go see Fuchsie Racing. I'm wearing my Fuchsie hat right now. I got Fuchsie glasses in my pocket. And timing clear. Okay, we are clearing course, ready to send forerunners for afternoon men's run, race 2. This is not run 2. This will be calculated as its own individual race. First up in the start gate, I expect to see Antonio Munoz. Okay, 4 forerunners. All right, Matthias just said the course set up nicely with that sprinkle of salt on it. So guys are going to be coming down, skiers left, lookers right. You can see that course goes pretty far off to my looker's right, looking uphill on the long lens camera. Then it cuts back into the center, goes through the shadows of the trees, which could be interesting right there. The shadows the snow feels different underfoot as they dip in and out of those shadows. We might see some drama in the shadow part. This morning's racing, we had overcast skies, but the sun has come out. It is bright and shiny and beautiful up here today. Looking out my window to my right, I can just see forever. It goes off into the distant low valleys from up here. I think I calculated it the other day. I can see 20 to 30 miles into the distance down below us up here. It is beautiful. As I arrived this morning, the moon was still in the sky right above the mountain. Go Antonio from Jack's mom from Winter Park, I'm guessing. Okay, first forerunner in the gate, sending now. First forerunner on course. Forerunner 2 on course. Forerunner 2 hits a hole. quickly recovers. Forerunner 1, time of 35.70. 35.70. Fourth and final forerunner in the gate. Okay, final forerunner on course. Second forerunner came in. First forerunner was a 35.70. Second forerunner was a 45.58. Antonio Munoz in the start gate. Third forerunner time, 42.11. Fourth forerunner, 39.24. 39.24. Okay, this is bib 175. Antonio Munoz in the start gate. And Antonio on course. Here we go. We are racing. Henry Kasdan, bib 174 in the start gate. So we are counting down to 101. Will be our last skier of the day. Henry on course. Asher Groman, 173, next up in the start. Bib 175, Antonio Munoz coming at us. Antonio, bib 175, finishes with the time of 42.23. 42.23. Ansel Garrett, bib 172, in the start gate. Asher Groman on course at the top. Coming to the finish, bib 174. That's 173. Asher down in the middle. Okay, at the finish, Henry Kasdan, bib 174 with a time of 40.88. 40.88. Ansel Garrett, 172, coming through that tricky section. Ransom Pierce on course at the top, bib 171. In the start gate, Grayson Smith, 170. Okay, bib 170 will not start. 170 will not start. We are skipping from 171 to 169. Cooper Curry in the start gate. At the finish, we just had bib 172, Ansel Garrett, with a time of 37.90. Ransom Pierce, mid-course. On course at the top, Cooper Curry. Next up in the start, Donovan Frazier. Oh, Cooper Curry going uphill. Nope, Cooper's out. That's bib 169. Cooper is out. Donovan Frazier next up in the start gate. Ansel Garrett, bib 172, came in with the 37.90. That's Ransom Pierce, bib 171, crossing the line with a 50.79, 50.79. Donovan Frazier on course at the top. Thomas down in the start gate. Donovan Frazier looking fast here. Thomas down on course. Jack Cafoid in the start gate. Donovan Frazier trying to keep it together as he comes into these last few turns. This is going to be a good time. Dono, bib 168 with a 38.30, 38.30. Dono's brother Everett cheering him on from home. And Jack's mom, of course. Jack Kofoid. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Barrett Groff next up in the start. Garrett on course at the top. Dylan Anderson next up in the start. At the finish, Thomas down, bib 167 with a 42.35. Oh man, Barrett Groff. Look at this guy. Absolutely attacking as if there's all the traction in the world to be had. And he's finding it. Dylan Anderson on course at the top. Colin Crewman next up in the start. At the finish line, Jack, bib 166 with a time of 40.74, 40.74. And reaching for it is Barrett Groff. Goes into the one spot, 31.84. Barrett Groff, bib 165 with that 31.84. Colin in the start gate. Mid-course, Dylan Anderson. Colin on course. Ingram Olsen next up in the start. Ingram Olsen in the start gate. At the finish line, bib 164, Dylan Anderson with a 49.30, 49.30 for Dylan. Ingram Olsen at the top of the course. Owen Holmes next up in the start gate. At the finish line, bib 163, Colin with a time of 36.42, 36.42. Forrest in the start gate. Owen Holmes on course at the top. Mid-course is bib 162. Ingram Olsen headed to us. Hand timers, we are missing bib 160. We're skipping from 161 to 159. Ingram Olsen, bib 162 with a time of 44.53. Forrest Caneva on course at the top. Finley Rosenthal in the start gate. At the finish line, bib 162, Ingram Olsen, 44.53. It has bib 161 disappeared off my screen. 158. Also having troubles at the top. So the last finisher through. So timing, keep an eye. 161 DNF, 158 DNF, 169 DNF, 173 DNF. Forrest. Bib 159, Forrest was the last skier through with a time of 38.35. 38.35. Okay, Austin Gibb, mid-course. Clayton Edwards on course at the top. Peyton Smith next up in the start gate. Okay, Peyton on course at the top. Next up in the start, Liam Tanis, bib 154. 156 is coming at us. Bib 157, Austin Gibb just finished with a 47.31. 47.31 for bib 157. Hey, Austin, good job for the Winter Park boys from Holmance. Jack's mom, I think. Peyton Smith. Bib 156. 156 abandons. Peyton Smith, 155 with a time of 38.89. Liam Tanis, bib 154 on course at the top. Nicholas Kasdan in the start gate. Okay, bib 153 will not start. 153 will not start. Switching to 152, Dustin Ward in the start gate. Liam Tanis, mid-course. Ooh, getting crazy. Oh, got late. Had to almost come to a stop to get back in time with the gates. It's going to be disappointed with that one. Dustin Ward on course. Luke Marshall next up in the start. This is bib 154 headed to us. 154 is done. 154, did not like it. And Luke Marshall on course at the top. Morrison, Librand in the start gate. Dustin Ward coming to the bottom here. This is bib 152 headed to the finish. 152 at the finish line with a time of 40.29, 40.29. Luke Marshall going fast mid-course. Morrison, Librand on course at the top. This is bib 151 headed to us, 150 on course, 149 Griffith Sherbier in the start gate. And Luke Marshall, bib 151, giving a fist pump of approval. I think that's what I saw. 32-22 for Luke Marshall going into the second position. That's still a hot run from Luke. Griffith Sherbier on course at the top. Joaquin Schupp in the start gate. Coming to the bottom here, Morris Librand, bib 150. 150 comes to a stop, throws his arms up in happiness, I'm sure. This snow feels neat under my skis, he says. Joaquin Schupp on course at the top. Next up in the start will be Aiden Schmidt. Morrison, bib 150 with a 59.82. 59.82. Morrison's not going to like that. Griffin Sherbier nearing the bottom here. This is bib 149 headed to us. Looks like we got a clean run going here. And Griffith, bib 149 with a 46.08. Joaquin Schupp nearing the bottom, bib 148 headed to us. 147 on course at the top, Aiden Schmidt. In the start gate, Oliver Woods, bib 146. Course much be treacherous. Speaking of treacherous, Aiden Schmidt gets kicked a little bit up there in the flat coming into the bumps. The course we're racing on today is called Wonder Bump because the dirt service road for the summer season traverses 6 times through up this course, back and forth, making these big bumps that are hard to see on the video. Joaquin Schupp, bib 148 with a time of 50.90, 50.90. Aiden Schmidt, 147 with a 38.49. Oliver Woods on course. Jack Cowie on course. Ewan Dudlop in the start gate. Okay, we have the next racer on course. Marcel Miracle, 141 is on course. Miro Mosconi, bib 140 is next up in the start. I need to catch up on some times. Okay, it looks like bib 142 did a 44.25. 144 was a DNF, which I need to mark on my sheet. 145 was not a DNF. Okay, working my way backwards for the hand score people. Aiden Schmidt, bib 147, was a 38.49. 146, Oliver Woods was a 39.35. 148 was a 50.90. Bib 139, DNF. Okay, looking back up the hill. Next up in the start, Andrew Souls on course. Grant Coates in the start gate. No 137. 137 will not start. 136, Noah in the start gate. Okay, Noah, bib 136 on course. 138 headed at us. Last finisher was bib 140 with a 41.67. Before that was 141, Marcel with a 46.59. Up in the top, Kieran Madondai. Okay, Kieran on course. Eli Feroldi in the start gate. Andrew, bib 139, finishes with a 48.83. Noah nearing the bottom. Kieran mid-course. Eli in the start gate. And Eli on course. Gabe O'Connor. Oh, Eli goes down immediately. Bib 134. Bib 134. Lost a ski almost immediately out of the start gate. This is 135 headed to us. 133, Gabe O'Connor in the start gate. Okay, Kieran, bib 135 with a time of 49.16. 49.16. Okay, course is clear of racers currently. Gabe O'Connor on course at the top. Declan Short next up in the start. Bib 132 will not start. 132 will not start. Skipping. 133 is on course, skipping to 131. Micah Safer in the start gate. Or Micah Safer. Micah on course. Oliver Lake next up in the start. All right, at the finish line, bib 133, Gabe O'Connor, 42.89. Oliver Lake on course at the top. Felix Locker in the start gate. On the YouTube chat, I've got Let's Go Tony. Lots of love from your family in Edmonton, Winnipeg, Arizona, and Italy for bib 121, who will be coming up shortly. Go Jack Attack. So proud of you. Love you, Mom. Felix Locker on course at the top. Callum Murchison in the start gate. At the finish line, 131, Micah Safer with the time of 43.92. 43.92 for Micah. Oliver Lake, bib 130. Oliver Lake, bib 130 with the time of 37.40. Micah, 131, had the time of 43.92. Felix Locker, 129, just comes in with a good one. 31.96, bumping into the 2 spot. Eli Greenberg on course. Steele Sabella in the start gate. Callum Murchison Am I getting that right? 1. All right, Graham Rowland in the start gate. Looking Rocky and Sandy are cheering for Benedict, bib 123. Benedict coming up. Rocky and Sandy watching you on YouTube. Eli Greenberg, bib 126 with a time of 36.37. Before Eli, we had bib 128. There's no 127 is a DNS. 128 was Callum with a 37.25. Graham Rowland at the top of the course. Steele Sabella nearing the bottom. In the start gate, Benedict Ulmer, bib 123. Benedict on course. Bodie Bauer next up in the start. Steele Sabella, bib 125 with a time of 42.45. Graham Rowland nearing the bottom here. Bodie Bauer next up in the start. Graham, bib 124 with a time of 42.02. Benedict Ulmer, mid-course, gets in the back seat, saves it. Bodie Bauer, whoa, laying it down on his side. Bodie Bauer does to stay in the course. Anthony Casano in the start gate right now. Coming at us is bib 123. 123 coming into the finish. Benedict with a time of 43.67. Bodie Bauer mid-course. Anthony Casano on course at the top. Caleb Ketter in the start gate. Okay, Caleb Ketter on course at the top. Dane Fisher next up in the start gate. Coming through the finish, we just had bib 122, Bodie Bauer with a 38.67, 38.67. Go Dane. I got you, Holmance. Okay, Dane Fisher on course. Caleb Ketter towards the bottom. Charlie Quinn next up in the start. Anthony Casano, bib 121 with a time of 42.32. 42.32. Charlie Quinn on course at the top. Next up in the start will be Luke Danzer. Caleb Ketter, bib 120, just comes across the line with a 44.33. 44.33. And Dane Fisher, bib 119 with a 35.46. Charlie Quinn, mid-course, going for it. Luke Danzer on course. Luke Atwood next up in the start gate. Go Caleb and Dane from Winter Park's cheering section. Luke Atwood on course at the top. Luke Danzer mid-course. At the finish line, bib 118, Charlie Quinn with a 34.74. Right before that was Dane Fisher with a 35.46. A couple fast runs back-to-back. Gareth Mann next up in the start gate. Coming to the finish, Luke Danzer, bib 117 with the time of 37.82. Bib 116 having trouble up there. That's Luke Atwood. Bails. Luke Atwood is out. Gareth Mann, look at this run. Gareth looks loose as a goose, going fast. Finding the traction. Simon Thiel next up in the start gate, bib 114. Coming at us here is bib 115. Gareth Mann putting on a show, I got to say. What is it going to be? Gareth Mann, 32.55 into the fourth position. Unofficially, bib 115. Gareth Mann, 32.55. Simon mid-course. James Cowie on course at the top. Murray Trosterman next up in the start. So, bib numbers. Bib 115 just came through. Gareth Mann, 32.55. Bib 114 coming at us. 113 at the top of the course. 112. Murray Trosterman in the start gate. Oh, and James Cowie lays it down. Bib 113. 113 is out. James Cowie. Murray Trosterman on course. At the finish, we just had 114. Simon Thiel with a 35.88. 35.88. 113. Will not finish. 112. Murray Trosterman on course. Clay Conkling, bib 111 on course behind him. Soren Grisham in the start gate. Bib 110 in the start gate. And Murray gets a clean run. 33.89 going into the 5 spot unofficially. Bib 112 Murray 33.89. Clay Conkling bib 111 coming at us. Soren Grisham bib 110 on course at the top. Carter Perviance in the start gate bib 109. Carter on course at the top. Next up in the start, Owen Wall, bib 108. At the finish line, we just had 111. Clay Conkling with a 38.99. 38.99 for Clay. Owen Wall on course at the top. Miles Vinzara in the start gate. At the finish line, bib 110, Soren Grisham with a time of 42.54. Miles in the start gate. Miles on course. Jack Venetos in the start gate. Carter, bib 109 with a 35 flat. Oh, bib 108. 108 having trouble? Owen Wall disappears out of my screen. 108, there he is. I see him on the side. Disappointed. Carter, bib 109 was our last finisher with a 35 flat. 107 is coming at us. Miles Vinzara. Jack Venitos on course at the top. Brooks Brownson next up in the start. Miles, bib 107 with a time of 41.70. Go Miles, we are cheering you on from Durango, from Joy or Penelope, or Joy Penelope. Brooks Brownson in the start gate. Jack, mid-course. Sun dips behind some clouds, gets dark out here. Cameron McCallum in the start gate. Brooks Brownson mid-course. I believe starting at bib 104, we're switching to finish intervals, or 105, switching to finish intervals. Jack, bib 106, finishes with a 55.87. 55.87. Brooks mid-course. Cameron McCallum in the start gate, ready to go. And Brooks Brownson, bib 105 with a time of 47.85. Cameron McCallum on course. Catching, I saw the front of his skis lift off the ground 2 corners in a row. Getting in the back seat, it is hard to keep control. His ski is off. This is 104. Okay, Cameron McCallum abandoned. 104 is out. I believe as soon as they lose a ski, they're officially DQ'd. Or not DQ'd, but not allowed to finish anyways. William Hilsendagger on course. Lincoln Laurie will be next up in the start. This is bib 103 on course right now. 103 coming at us. Looking good so far. Action has slowed, so I'm able to watch the race top to bottom here. Lincoln Laurie in the start gate. This is bib 103. William coming to the finish. Gets through it all. Good job, William. Bib 103, 50.79, 50.79. Lincoln Laurie on course. Simon Vargas Miller will be the next skier. Simon, I believe, will be the last skier, except for, 156 is getting the rerun. Okay, scoring, pay attention. Bib 156 is being inserted after 102 for the rerun. Okay, that's Clayton Edwards inserted in the start gate for a rerun. At the finish line, Lincoln Laurie, bib 102 with a good run, 35.87, 35.87, good enough for ninth currently. Ninth unofficially currently. 102, Lincoln Laurie. Clayton Edwards on course. Simon Vargas Miller, final racer of the afternoon, 101 in the start gate. And here we go. Clayton Edwards, 156, gets a full run top to bottom, 44.47 for Clayton, 44.47. Simon Vargas Miller on course. Simon has a hiccup, has another hiccup, reels it back in, gets back on time. Simon Vargas Miller. Woo! Simon is continuing to send it here. Wind is picking up outside. Okay, here we go. Bib 101. Last racer. Simon. That's 101 with a time of 40.75, 40.75. That completes this afternoon's racing. We will be back with you tomorrow morning at 9:15 over on the Giant Slalom course. I am going to sign out. Thank you guys for joining us. We need some volunteer help.